If you're wondering what the sound is, that's a fan going on in the background because it's incredibly hot in this room and it's like almost 70 degrees out in November. What is up with that? Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough, and I'm back to do another unscripted, heavily edited rant. Because if you remember when I did my review of Sonic Free Riders for the Wii, I mentioned Sonic 06 at the end. By the way, if you want me to review this game, here's the review. This game sucks ass. And while I still think this is one of the better bad Sonic games, I still don't like it. But let me tell you, it is nowhere near the level of Sonic 06. I said I wasn't going to do a review, so instead I'm going to do a rant on the 3 big reasons of why I think this game failed so badly. I just want to note, I have not played through the entire game. I am like halfway through the Sonic campaign. But after playing through a little bit of it and seeing other people's reviews and Let's Plays and critique videos and seeing some threads discussing the thing, I feel like I want to give what I think are the 3 big reasons as to why Sonic 06 was as bad as it was. And keep in mind, these reasons are in no specific order. The third one I think is the most important, so if I were to, I think that'd probably be the #1 reason. But yeah, these are just 3 reasons, no specific order. But reason #1, this does not feel like a Sonic game. Even compared to Sonic Adventures, which is the vibe I was getting the most while playing through this, especially in one of the first levels where it feels like they took a level straight out of Sonic Adventure, this game does not feel like a good reboot, which that's what they were trying to go for. You know, it's called Sonic the Hedgehog, and you know, people codenamed it Sonic 06 because it was released in 2006. And to distinguish it as one of the ultimate black sheep of the franchise. And really, this is not a good reboot. There's just so much stuff about it that sticks out like a sore thumb and feels like it does not apply to the franchise whatsoever. Whenever Sonic and friends are on screen with human characters, it just feels jarring and feels like 2 different games are on the same screen. Even Robotnik, where it's like they tried to make him look kind of like himself, but also make him look real, it does not look good in the slightest. And just, I don't know, like story elements with, you know, Sonic having to save the Princess of Soliana or whatever, it just doesn't feel like a Sonic game. It doesn't even feel like Sonic Adventure. This is when they started veering off and started doing like Sonic Secret of the Rings and, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog with, you know, it's like wannabe Linkin Park, you know, edgy, badass kind of, you know, style. This is probably the best example of Sonic trying way too hard to be something that it just isn't. Whereas some of the later games that we got, you know, past this kind of dark period of the Sonic franchise with games like, you know, Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, you know, that is when I think Sonic started picking up momentum again and started getting better. There was admittedly Sonic Boom, but we're not going to talk about that here. We're already talking about Sonic 06. The next reason is way too much content in this game. I'm not even talking about just the whole idea of the, you know, Sonic, Shadow, and Silver campaigns. That's just like whatever. The Sonic campaign itself has way too much stuff in it. There are open worlds where there's like virtually almost nothing in it to interact with. And the bonus stages, half of them feel like they don't even add anything to the actual game. And some of these bonus levels don't even amount to anything in the game. It's like, you got the Find the Kids segment, the count how many boxes there are, ring the town bells. Like, what does any of this have to do with the game? It feels like filler. It's like their idea was more equals better. But in reality, you know, sometimes less is more and makes the game better. Here it's just like, it just comes off like a jam-packed mess. And there's just so much content in the game. In the Sonic campaign alone, it makes the game feel just clunky and trying too hard to be something it's not. And the bonus levels in particular just feel like filler. And the last reason, and I feel like this is the big one, is that obviously this game was rushed. Now the reason for why this game was rushed is because apparently the Sonic team was working on another Sonic game that I think was supposed to go to the Wii. So the Sonic team had to be split down the middle, and they had to have 2 separate teams work on that game as well as this game. And so there was less people working on it, which meant people had to put even more manpower into this game to try and get it finished because they were trying to push the game to be released around Christmas. Oh gee, I wonder what that sounds like. Yep, it's basically another E.T. on Atari situation. Very similarly, the game was rushed out to try and get it to Christmas, which both of these games were. Both of them were trying to ape off of their big name franchise. In E.T.'s case, it was the popular 80s movie at the time, and this was trying to ape off of the whole Sonic franchise, you know, with the, oh, it's a reboot, you know, they thought fans were just going to eat it up, and some fans do like the game, but a majority of fans seem to really hate the game. Anything that I may have said that was negative about this, it's nowhere near in comparison to good old Sonic 06 over here. And really, that's why I think this game came out so bad, is that it was rushed. They tried way too hard to get it put out on a certain date before thinking about having the game turn out 120% good. And of course, this has resulted in a lot of glitches and a lot of messed up elements with the gameplay. And it's just what ended up hurting the game the most, is that it was just really rushed and slapped together while the team was trying to work on another game. They should have had everyone working on the game to make sure it was perfect. But instead, it just came out rushed. The game has a really just flat story that feels nothing like Sonic. They put way too much content in, which just makes the game feel bloated and over-crammed with crap. And overall, while it does have some good graphics, although it is weird between, like, some cutscenes look better than others.
I've got it!
Overall, this game, it is kind of the spiritual successor to E.T. on Atari in that it was rushed and it's hailed as one of the worst games ever made. So, I'm sorry, Sonic 06, but you're going on shelf of the worst. And that's that. So, what are we looking at next time? Oh, fuck. Oh god, I remember he showed me this intro. Yes, that's the music from Sonic 06. Why? Why?